Mr. Zeno, we had a situation in class today. Your son was calling himself MF Zeno. I'm MF Zeno.
If that happens, like, I mean, obviously, okay, like, you can't do that, like, right?
But so proud.
But I'd be so proud, like, hidden. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, geez, man. What has it been, 3 or 4 weeks? I almost going to say it's almost been a month.
It's been close to that because
you had
so we were on vacation last week, and then there was like the week well, so there was the week. It started off with the week you forgot, I think.
Yep.
And then
which I didn't forget. I knew it was happening. I just forgot to keep track of time.
You forgot. I'm literally like checking all this stuff because I like did all this in the hustle.
I think
it looks okay.
I think you look great.
All right, whatever.
You look great.
I just need to stop. I just need whatever. I mean, literally, I'm editing the episode with my dad right now.
Yeah.
I forgot to hit record on the audio recorder, so it's like all audio from that camera.
Yeah.
And it just, I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
But
it's going to bug you.
It's going to bug me. I don't know if anyone else will care.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's going to bug me.
Yeah.
So
there you go. I know that feeling.
Yeah, no. So we had 3 or 4 weeks that we have not recorded.
Just one thing after another.
Yeah.
But good to be back.
It is. Yeah. So we're just going to
recap.
We thought we had a plan, and then stuff has come up, and just talk.
Exactly, man. Well, what big news? You guys found out a middle name.
We did.
Are you allowed to announce it?
I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I'm going to.
Oof.
So I mean, I don't think she cares. Well, okay. So preface: this has been a week.
Oh, by the way, for the baby. I hope
not my
like,
middle name.
Just like you've never had a middle name, and you're like, we've decided.
I did convince some 4th graders once that I never had a first name.
You were just ZZ.
Just yep. Anyways, so my middle name is Franklin, after my great grandfather Frank, who came from Italy to Massachusetts. It's good, right?
So good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
With Amelia, like the middle name came so easy, but with Milo, it's been a struggle. And I've always wanted, like, since we knew his boys, like, I kind of want Milo Franklin.
Yeah.
Emma did not like it, in part because anytime anyone ever said they were having a boy, my response would be, dude, you know what a great like name is? Franklin.
Yeah.
Kind of like as a joke. And so she got really annoyed by it. And she was like, it's not like, it sounds like you're being stupid.
Yeah.
Which I get. Like I totally understand that. Like I was, being goofy about it. But I told her at one point, I was like, I mean, I kind of said it half joking, but also kind of half serious. Like, especially with our kid, I was like, I want to pass my name down. Like, I want to share something with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I just think it'd be something cool that we can share. And I think it sounds good together.
Yeah.
And so we had a date night while we were on vacation, and she was like, I was like, can we try and figure out a middle name? And she was like, I think it's Franklin.
Oh, I bet that made your heart so happy.
I was so excited, especially because like a month earlier, I had brought it up, and it brought her to tears because she felt like she wasn't sure about, like, she just didn't feel like any middle name fit.
Yeah.
And so she was like, I just don't feel like I'm going to love it. And then she felt like pressured into it. And so like a month before, like she had been brought to tears by it. And at that point I was like, okay, like we're not naming him Franklin.
Yeah,
like that's not happening. Like it's not going to happen. And I was like, I'm dropping it. And if she decides, then she decides.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm more or less like okay with names. I feel like our like wives are a lot more particular. Like they think about like long term. Like one thing that Sarah would do is she'd think about a name, but then she would say it and she's like, would I call an adult that? Like things like that.
Mine is always like say it when you're mad.
Yeah.
Amelia Capri, like just rolls.
Yeah. Noah Harrison. I say that all the time in my house.
Milo Franklin Zeno.
Oh, dude, that's it right there. That's it right there.
You want to know another great thing about it?
What's that?
MF Zeno.
That's gonna stick. That's gonna be a school thing. Mr. Zeno, we had a situation in class today. Your son was calling himself MF Zeno. I'm MF Zeno.
If that happens, like, I mean, obviously, okay, like, you can't do that, like, right?
But so proud.
But I'd be so proud, like, hidden. Yeah.
That's it. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
I thought about that too. Sarah and I have had some conversations regarding our design. We've gone back and forth so much about a fourth kid. I don't know. I think we might be done. But then again, I said
okay.
that, like,
so do you remember when on the podcast you said they were having another one?
We just don't want to jump into it because we're about to be in our 30s and like both of us, and we're excited about our 30s.
What is your birthday?
March 14th
of 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
you're 93.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, by I think quite a few months. 10.
Whatever July to March is. I don't know math.
10 months. So
10 days,
we're
baby.
all like around the exact same age.
Got 10
Ryan's the baby.
He is.
But you got 10 days into your
got
birthday.
10 days left of being non-old.
Yeah. But then again, I haven't done anything regarding my name. I brought this up to Sarah, and I don't know what you think. And tell me if this is stupid. And
it's stupid.
But you haven't even heard yet. Come on. So my grandpa recently passed away, and his name is Steven. And I'm like, okay. I got like so many Stevens in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love the name, but I don't really see naming if we had a boy, Steven, or his middle name being Steven. So he, like I've always said, he was obsessed and really, really connected on the Crocodile Hunter.
Oh yeah.
And Crocodile Hunter, his name is Irwin. And I loved that as like a middle name.
I think that's great.
Sarah hates it.
See, okay, here's the thing that like I think is I don't know what maybe if this is different for guys than it is for girls, but like I love like when middle names have some significance to them.
Yeah.
Like especially because it's like it's not a name that's used.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, my middle name is never used.
Yeah.
Like you think about it, more than half the people that you talk to have no idea what your middle name is.
I just found out what your middle name is.
Yeah, I don't know what yours is.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Please tell me.
I'm not going to tell you.
Well, no, you have to. You know my middle name. I have to know your middle name. I'm going to call your wife.
Oh, man. Okay, so I'm not embarrassed. I love my middle name because it's my dad's middle name. But I get told it's a girl name on a regular basis. Why? I don't want to tell you if you're smiling like that. It's nothing like extremely feminine.
Leslie?
Oh, my gosh. Can you imagine Josiah Leslie? I would legally change that.
I wanted to legally change my first name when I was a kid.
Oh, what was it? What did you want to change it to?
Boat.
Okay, that's not what I thought you were going to say.
I vividly remember standing in the bathroom and looking in the mirror when I was like 5 or 6 and saying, I want to change my name to Boat. Why Boat? I have no idea.
It's unique for sure.
Yeah.
My middle name is Lynn. So
okay. I've heard Lynn as
it goes back and forth.
Yeah.
It gets back and forth.
Definitely a little bit more feminine.
But no, it's not. Do I have to say that?
No, it's more common. Sorry, it's more commonly used as a feminine name.
Oh man.
But I've heard it both ways.
Oh man.
But yeah, I think I like it when middle names have some significance. Like Mia's middle name is Capri, and it like when we've chose it, it didn't really have a significance for us. Like we liked the sound of it.
Yeah.
But then like we'd already decided upon it, and Emma can correct me if I'm wrong, and then I'll come back and apologize next week if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure like after the fact that we chose it, we were like, Capri is an Italian island. Like both of our families, like her family's pretty much fully Italian. Mine's like half Italian.
Yeah.
I was like, that has some cool significance to it.
I love that name. Like I heard it for the first time
and
the
it's
other
so
day.
Unique.
It is, but it's like a beautiful name.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't use it, I would have been like, "It's name or that's a good first name too."
Yeah. So I kind of when we were like trying to figure out Milo's middle name, I was like, could we do like another Italian spot and like have that be like a theme with the kids? But we also were like, we didn't want to choose a middle name that like had family significance. connected to anyone.
Yeah.
Because it was like, if we went with, Richard, which is my dad's name, and my grandfather's name. Side note, my dad is supposed to be a junior, but he's technically not a junior because they forgot to put junior on his birth certificate.
No way.
And he didn't find that out until like way later in life.
They can fix that.
Yeah, I know.
It just never got around to it.
Yeah. He found out about it like when I was like, I don't know, in my teens.
That's funny.
Yeah. But anyway, so like, we didn't want to choose that name because then we felt like if we choose one person and we don't choose use someone else's name, then it's like excluding them.
Yeah.
So this was like the only exception to it where it's like, it's my middle name.
Yeah.
And like, it still has family significance because it's my great grandfather, but like it's my middle name.
Exactly.
Like I'm passing it to him. So I think it's cool when middle names have like some fun significance. And like, I don't know. To me, it's like they're not used all that often. So they might as well be like fun, important out there.
Yeah. No, I agree. And have some sort of meaning behind it.
Yeah.
All three of our kids, their middle name is based off of somebody who's meant a lot to us individually. So, for example, Colin's middle name is David.
Yep.
David Frankie, really, really good friend of mine. He's the reason that Sarah and I met. So it was big part of our life. Noah's middle name is Harrison. So that's my brother's middle name. So Samuel, Samuel means a lot to me. All my brothers mean a lot to me. But Sam and I have always had a really good relationship. Yeah. And then obviously my grandma's dad, his name is Harrison. So there's a little bit of uniqueness there.
And family,
Quinn's middle name is Marie. And that's the middle name of Sarah's dance teacher. Growing up, like all her life, inspiring her. So Sarah wanted to, So
that's awesome.
I agree 100%. So basing it off of somebody who's of great importance is.
If we went with the middle name of the person who connected Emma and I, be Chris.
Yeah, really? Wait, Norman?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Actually,
there you go.
I mean,
Milo Norman.
He didn't technically connect us, but like inadvertently. Which I don't know if I've told you this story. There's literally, we have no agenda
plan.
With this.
We're
just talking and catching up. So if you don't want to be here for that, bye.
Yeah.
So what is on my shoe?
As long as it's not a spider.
I thought it was. It's a hair. So I started at Grace. Like when I had a couple of interviews, and then I had my final interview with Chris. Because Chris wasn't like my direct supervisor. So final interview with Chris. And I get hired and then they asked me to join Form, right? Which for anyone who doesn't know, Form was like this young adult discipleship program that, we had going on at the church and within like the 3DM, church culture. I don't know how I'd ever describe 3DM. Look it up.
I'm still confused by 3DM.
Look it up. So anyways, at the same time, Emma was deciding to do Form. So, and Emma's dad grew up and was best friends with Chris Norman.
Oh, really?
So, and that's why, which by the way, if you ever hear like Chris in his sermons say like he was voted number 2 partier in high school.
Yeah.
Emma's dad was number 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so like
funny.
number 1, number 2 partier both become pastors.
That's funny.
But anyway, so like
Emma's dad is a pastor?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He's Chi Alpha. So he's like at the University of Michigan.
Okay.
So
very cool.
Yeah. So anyways, inadvertently, Chris brought us together. What we didn't know was not until after we were engaged, which like, we weren't supposed to date during Form. We technically didn't, though I think other people would say otherwise. Chris and Kathy even called us over to their house, like while we were in Form, to have a meeting with us about like, hey, we know you guys like each other. We know you're probably going to date afterwards, but you need to like not now.
That's funny.
Yeah. And it was an intense conversation. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But then after we were engaged, like the very next day, Chris found me and he was like, so do you remember that interview we had, your final interview before you were hired? I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, I went home to Kathy after that interview and he's like, I had never met you. I didn't know that Emma was coming for form. He was like, but I went home to Kathy and I said, I have found Emma Grisco's husband.
Really?
He was like, I just knew it.
That is funny.
I was like, that's weird.
That is funny.
Yeah. And then I was like, wait, you hired me on like a year probation. So what was going to happen if I got fired, Chris?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I guess I was wrong.
But
that's funny.
All right. So I guess our next boy, his middle name has to be Christopher.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Kudos to you, Chris. Kudos to you. There you go, man. But yeah, no, it's been a few weeks. You fought black bears. I fought
some black bears.
I fought employees.
Honestly, that's not like a joke, though. I feel like
it's ridiculous. You gotta love them, and it's.
Are we talking about the black bears or the employees?
It's easier to love a black bear than it is some difficult employees. Let's just say that. But no, it's been a good few weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, my mind's a complete blur.
I literally don't know what happened beyond a week ago,
and that just ties into like dads in general. Like sometimes there's a point in the day where it's just like I am zoning out.
Yeah.
Like I am doing everything in my power to stay focused, and I am zoning the crap out. But other than that, yeah, just gotta learn how to survive. This week though, you ask me often, oh, how many people did you fire? This week has been probably a record.
Really?
Yeah, I'm locking down on some things, and it's tough because like. You want people to succeed.
Yeah.
And you want people to be able to perform well, but they can only take themselves so far if they want to make the effort.
Right.
So it was a little bit of a tough week, but you got to have thick skin in the game. So,
yeah.
But yeah, other than that, it's been good. It's good. Colin's been doing basketball camp and things like that. So
I saw that in Sarah's story.
Yeah. So he's enjoying that.
Nice.
Other than that, man.
Quinn's crawling, isn't she?
Quinn is crawling, which is so adorable, dude. Obviously, having boys were amazing, but like something about your daughter is just like, Sarah painted her nails for the first time the other day. I wanted to die. Like
I saw that and Amelia was like, I want Emma to paint Amelia's nails because she's never done it.
Yeah. It was adorable. And like you get home and she's excited to see you and it's just like, wow, the stress of the day just completely washed off the back of my back. But
Amelia's been doing this thing recently. I did it once, like to her, like when we were going to bed. And I like squeezed her, like gave her a hug and I was like, Anaconda squeeze, from like Nacho Libre. Now like when we put her to bed, she goes, I can't squeeze. She wants us both to do like the anaconda squeeze to her. It's awesome. The greatest thing.
That's awesome.
But I feel like we were on vacation last week in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and we were there with my parents, my brother and sister-in-law, and then they have Oliver he'll be 3 in October, and Benji I think is like 8 or 9 months. Selena can correct me in the comments because she's like the person who watches every episode.
Yeah.
Which it was a super good vacation, like super tiring because we did a lot of like hiking and stuff. I don't know if you ever hiked with your kids on your back. It hurt so bad.
Really?
Which we only did we did a hike called Laurel Falls. Have you been to Gatlinburg?
Mm-hmm.
Like you've been to Smokies?
Yep.
Okay.
Laurel Falls sounds really familiar.
It's beautiful. It's other than I really like Chimney Top. Have you done that one?
I haven't done that.
That one is super fun because like at the end of it, it's literally like a scramble up the mountain. But last time I was there, which was right before, literally like a week before COVID, it was closed because of the fires. We didn't get to go back to Chimney Top, so I don't know if it's open. But anyways,
There's fires down there?
There was a huge, like Tennessee's biggest, worst.
That was a while ago. Though,
yeah, it was 20. I mean, it was before COVID.
Yeah, 18 or 19. I want to say. Yeah.
So, like when you're down there, you can still see like trees that are like dead and still standing and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird. But we did Laurel Falls, which is only like a 1.7, 1.9 hike. But I had Mia on my back, and I didn't have like the backpack like done up properly. The hike up there, But even on the way down, like it just hurt.
Yeah.
Like this is, I mean, like I enjoy it, but at the same time, like we're done. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. Can you imagine people who do CrossFit pay to do things like that? Like, why would you enjoy doing that?
It's like I enjoy the nature and I enjoy like the fun of it. Like it was a fun hike with the family. And I think Laurel Falls is beautiful. But then like the next day we went, we were going to go to Klingman's Dome, and my brother and sister-in-law and my dad wanted to do like a portion of the Appalachian Trail. And we were down to do it because my brother's like, oh, it's like a 0.2 mile hike that we're going to do. And we get there and I don't know what happened, but it was like, oh, that's not a 0.2 mile hike. It was like supposed to be like almost a 2 mile hike, and it was cold and it was about to start raining. And I was like, I'm not putting her on my back. Like I don't.
Yeah, you don't want to be
2 mile hike or 0.2 mile hike. I'm good. Like nah.
Yeah,
so we opted out of that, and but it was fun, and we legit saw like a bear on our porch. Like we were just sitting in the living room, and all of a sudden he's like walking out on the porch, chilling. So then like all the rest of the trip, we walk out front. We're like, hey bear, like making sure he's like not on the porch or anything.
Yeah.
But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
We haven't gone to Gatlinburg in a long time. We as a family would go. We always go to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum.
We didn't do that. We did the Ripley's Aquarium, which
phenomenal.
Was amazing.
And then one year I asked my mom if her and I could do the Ripley's Haunted Adventure. You know what that is? It's like right down the road.
No, but I'm surprised your parents said yes to that.
And it was a weird season of our life.
Okay.
So we'd have seasons where we could do things and then not do things, and it was a season where they were like more okay with it.
Okay.
It was miserable. It was I was tormented. Like I legitimately remember thinking things were done, but they weren't done.
Like it was scary,
Absolutely terrifying. I was to this day, I remember the feeling of fear as I'm walking through. And the issue is like there's real people that are paid by the museum that are dressed up, and I'm just like, it was not a good experience.
I love haunted like houses. But I love them because I
do
love,
too, though.
I love being like fifth person in line and watch. Like I'm not watching for when the people jump out. I'm watching the people first in line's reaction.
The thing is, I took the last because I'm like, heck yeah, I want to be at the end. I don't care. I don't want. But people chase you.
Oh no, you're not at the end.
Oh,
I'm saying like you're in the middle because then you're safe from like people like coming up behind you and like getting in your face, and you're just laughing. We were in India. And we went to this weird mall, and there was a haunted house in this weird mall in India. This was like when I was in college at Huntington, and I literally peed my pants from laughing.
Oh, really?
Our professor was the first one in line. He's like this big, like he's the head of the philosophy department, like big guy, super deep voice, big black goatee, like tough as nails sort of guy. Freaking out, like
that is
scared,
funny.
and I'm pretty sure it was one guy. Like he would jump out, scare us, run back through tunnels, and like come back at another spot. Like it was the same guy, and every time Dr. Alexander's like inches away from punching him in the face, and
Can you imagine
dying? Like I literally walked out the door and fell down because I was laughing so hard and had peed my pants.
That is so funny.
That was so good.
I love a good haunted. Do you like scary movies?
I like suspenseful movies.
Yeah.
I'm always like, what's the point of a scary movie?
Is there a line?
I think there is. I think when there gets to a point where it's like, there's the like demonic, like that sort of something. Like, no, like I'm not.
So you don't like that. I'm a big sucker for scary movies. Anything horror genre, I love.
I like suspenseful.
Ones I don't like are like ones that like Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, no, I remember.
I'm not a big fan of those.
I watched one of those once with a girlfriend in high school, and I had my arm around her, and there was a point where like all of the cabinets like fly open, and it like just a jump scare, and it made me jump, and I smacked her in the face.
Oh no! You're like, well, this date's
like,
done.
That's not good.
This ain't gonna work out.
Yeah, but no, I like the ones that kind of make me jump.
Yeah.
I think it's fun, but I like the ones like
That's my phone.
Yeah. I like the ones like what is it? The Silent Place, right?
Oh, with Quiet. The Quiet Place.
Quiet Place. Or The Birds.
Oh, the classic Alfred Hitchcock one? Where
and then what's the other one? Is it Sandra Bullock?
Oh, Premonition?
No.
Movie's terrible, by the way.
It's like the one where you like they can't look.
Oh,
like
Bird Box? Bird Box?
Bird Box. Yes.
Movie was stupid.
I
dude.
liked it.
Really?
I
thought it was stupid. I'm like, people are just jumping out.
I like the little bit of suspense and like the mystery behind it. The ones that are just like there was one that we watched. It was like one of the Hemsworths is in it, and they go to a lake.
Oh, Cabin in the Woods?
Yeah.
Such a stupid
It's so
movie.
stupid. Like, I was
but
like,
there's actually a comedy sense to it, which is kind of fun. Yeah.
I was like, okay, like this is okay because it's a little funny, but it's like that type where it's just like, like there's no plot to it other than everyone just dies. I'm like, that's dumb.
Yeah. No, I went through a season where that's like, I loved that kind of stuff. Like I like a lot of the classic, like scary movies, but I had to take a quick heart check too, because I was like, I love the Saw movies, and I'm just like, not setting the greatest example watching these movies and saying, yeah, I like the Saw movies.
Yeah.
Like, why do I like the Saw movies?
And I think
it's
there's an element of like what you're taking in.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I also think there is an element of like recognizing what you're taking in. Too.
Yeah, exactly. Like you gotta realize, is this affecting me outside of watching this?
Right.
So, because honestly, anything could.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
I'm going through Breaking Bad right now, and I was telling Stevie the day, hey, making meth doesn't seem so hard.
Thinking about making some meth.
He's like, what? He's like, yeah. So
just want a big handful of meth.
Yeah. So I don't know how we got off on this topic.
Dude, I don't know. Do you want your gift?
Oh, you got me a gift?
I got you a gift.
A brown paper bag.
Oh, balls.
You got me balls.
Not plural.
A ball.
Maybe. So I got this for you at Hillbilly Golf. I saw it and I was like, I have to get this.
Yes. Oh, I love it.
Show the camera.
See, it's SpongeBob.
I literally,
Sarah, I am so excited.
We were standing in line at Hillbilly Golf, and it was like in the window. And I pulled up my car. I said, "Can I have the SpongeBob golf ball?" And my sister-in-law is standing right next to me. She goes, "Are you gonna give that to Josiah?" I'm like, "You really do watch every episode."
Yes, in my office, Sarah's not allowed to touch this. She likes to throw away my things that she doesn't like. She's not allowed to touch this.
I should have signed it.
In fact, what we should do, honestly, you okay if we just keep it right here?
Totally.
We're gonna do it.
It's
keep it
every
right here.
Shot.
So sit. She's not gonna watch any of our episodes anymore, though. I'm just joking.
Kind of throws off the blue and green, but I think it's okay.
It does. I love it. That is amazing. Well, thank you.
Yes,
that's great.
You're welcome.
What's Hillbilly Golf?
It's golf for hillbillies.
So,
I mean, it's just like putt-putt.
Oh, really?
But like you go up the mountainside. It's like a little train that you take up the mountainside, and then you like putt-putt down the mountain.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard with a toddler.
I can imagine. I mean, putt-putt in general. So you can imagine going down.
I like putt-putt.
Yeah.
Like, it's the only time I ever get hole-in-ones. But, yeah, Mia did. I mean, Mia had the time of her life.
I bet.
But it was like, I think I hit maybe 6 balls. Yeah. Because it was just like, you're chasing her. You're trying to make sure she doesn't fall down the mountain.
Yeah, start rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But.
We experienced that the other day. We took the boys to Dude Perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm going to tell you right now, I had respect for them.
Yeah.
But I have an insurmountable amount of respect for this group of guys.
Have you listened to the podcast on?
Yeah. So I listened to the I Am Second podcast, which is extremely encouraging, especially seeing somebody who's in that position just being open.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow, that spoke a lot to me. And I knew that they shared the gospel in their on tour. And the show was great. I enjoyed it just as much as the boys did.
Dude, I would love it.
Did not enjoy it. And so obviously Sarah did not enjoy it. But the boys and I really were able to like really enjoy it. But at the end, they said, all right, well, we just want to tell you guys right now, we are Christians. We're the 5 of us are Christians. And we want to be able to share the gospel with you guys if you guys are willing. So what we're going to do is we're going to go get a glass of water. If you guys would like to stick around, we're going to share the gospel.
I love that
that
they give an opportunity for people to like step out. If
and
they
honestly,
don't want to.
not a lot of people left.
I'm
like
sure.
there was I would say maybe 15% of people left. Most people stuck around. And he came out with his Bible and he was reading the scripture and he was speaking life into what they do and why they do it and to everybody out in the audience. And at the end, they prayed and everybody cheered. And it was like, dude, it made me want to cry because I was like, that is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like I was like, not only was I just like so overwhelmed and you could just sense the spirit moving, but like I was proud of these guys. Like you guys could have every opportunity just to gloat about what you've been able to do, but you are giving everything back to him. And I was just like, that's what we're gonna get to. It's like, well,
one day.
But
Dude,
no,
yeah,
really
that's
cool.
awesome. I was watching like because you guys and the Murrays both went and we're like posting photos like, oh
Yeah,
that'd be so fun. But
Yeah.
it's like me. There's no way Mia would.
yeah. It was
like,
it was
can
tough
I
for
just
Quinn.
go as an adult by myself?
I mean,
Like,
honestly, I honestly kept getting yelled at by Sarah because I forgot I had to be watching the boys when I was watching the show.
okay,
instead.
so next Dude Perfect live event. I almost called it a concert, but it's not a concert. All of us dads are just gonna go by
I think
ourselves.
so. Front row. I love you, Ty.
Dude, I love Ty.
Yeah,
He wins everything.
He did. He won that night too.
Like-
I'm just like Garrett almost won.
He
I'm like,
he has to be one of the most talented people
I think he is.
because it's like there's talented people out there, right? Like who are like
Yeah.
excellent at their craft, but he's like so good at
Well,
everything they do.
and there's people that you could just tell put 110% effort
Yeah.
into everything they do. Like I'm not saying the other guys don't, but you could tell he is in every effort. Doesn't care how many times he's won, he's gonna win.
Yeah.
Like that mentality.
And I one thing that I love about Dude Perfect is like the amount of quality they put into their videos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's so good. And I'm always like, I'm watching it and I'm half watching like, you know, the story that they're telling and everything like that. But I'm half watching, like trying to figure out what they're doing behind the scenes of the video. Cause I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh.
There you go. You should
Like,
go work for Dude Perfect. Can you
Dude,
imagine?
honestly, it'd be fun. Like some
Yeah.
of their like some of their bigger videos, like was it the tallest basketball shot? Like that one. There's a couple of other like really good ones I've watched it like are documentary level. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
this is so good.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those things where you like I'm watching it and I forget that I'm watching Dude Perfect.
Yeah.
Like that this was a show, not a show, but it's like a channel that mostly, I'm guessing, kids watch.
Yeah.
Right? Like that you wouldn't have to put the quality level into
Exactly.
that. But
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
And
They do.
I love it.
Phenomenal.
So
Yeah.
good.
Big kudos to you,
Yeah.
Dude Perfect.
But
Cool stuff, man. Drinking out of your Stanley.
still the best purchase of 2023.
Really the best purchase.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to say it's probably your SpongeBob.
I
golf
use it
ball.
literally every day. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's made me drink much more water. It makes my pee clear.
It's very important.
It is. So I had a job summer after freshman year of college, leading mission trips around the country. I got fired from it, but
No way.
yeah, I'm not going to tell that story.
Oh, I'm after the cameras are shut off.
But like we had to do 2 weeks of training in Estes Park, Colorado. So like up in the mountains. And every time like the whole group met, the leader would come up, "Are we in the clear?" And like literally would make us raise our hands if we weren't in the clear.
Really?
Like if we weren't peeing clear because they were like, they don't want us to be dehydrated.
That's
so every time
funny.
I pee now and it's clear, I think I'm in the clear.
Honestly, I can't think of anything right now except for the fact that you got fired from a job. And I'm dying to know what it is.
Is that the only job I've gotten? I think that might be the
That's
only
funny.
job I've gotten fired from. And I've had a lot of jobs.
Yeah, I've had a few. I worked way too long in Sweetwater. But
Well, I've had a lot, like before, like I'm thinking, I mean, I've had a couple of jobs, you know, like while being an adult. But I've just had I had a lot of jobs like in high school, college, and like even being part-time at church, like just a lot of random little weird jobs.
Yeah.
Like I drove a bus for daycare and like picked kids up from school every day and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Like,
interesting.
I've worked at multiple ice cream shops. One was called the Cream Machine.
Interesting. Okay.
Nope,
I can get behind it.
Fireworks tent.
Really?
That was fun. We got a lot of free fireworks. Almost got fired from that one.
Lighting one in the middle of the.
No, which honestly is funny because now my aunt, like my now aunt, she married my uncle a couple years back, like is like the owner of it.
That's funny.
What else? Jimmy John's for a couple of weeks, Walmart for a couple of months, coffee shops. I worked at a place called Board and Brush. It's like you go there and drink wine and make wooden signs.
Yeah, over off Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Well, it was in Roanoke, but yeah, I think there's some down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and got hit on by a bunch of like 40, 50-year-old women who had too much wine. That was fun. Drove a school bus. A lot of weird jobs, but yeah, I think I've only been fired from one.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very cool. Dying to know. I've had 3 jobs.
Your entire life, only 3?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Sweetwater, the church.
4. I worked with my cousins who own like a flower, like a greenhouse.
Oh, okay.
And then worked at a feed mill for a couple of years. And
That's
then
5.
So greenhouse, feed mill, Sweetwater, Gas Hill.
Grace. You're paid by them.
Yeah.
You're paid by them.
I guess I've never considered it. It's funny, dude. And I
mean, it's 5 hours, but you're paid by them.
Exactly.
I actually don't know how many hours you are.
4 actually. But hey, that's not what it's about. But
I had to go to Target today to buy stuff for family camp next week.
Oh yeah. I'm lead worship for that, aren't I?
Oh yeah, we should talk about that.
You should probably give me a song.
We should talk about that.
Got Reckless Love on there.
We'll talk about that after we turn the cameras off. Anyways, I bought a bunch of supplies for camp. And I can't tell you what I bought because your family's going and that'll ruin, but it's a bunch of stuff for the family challenges. And it's the most random assortment of stuff.
I'm so excited.
And I put it on the checkout lane and the lady looked at me and she's like, what is why are you buying all this random stuff? And I was like, so I lead a children's ministry and we have family camp this week. And she's like, okay. Didn't need any more explanation than that.
It's like somebody putting like a machete, like duct tape, rope.
Honestly though, that's happened a lot.
Yeah.
There was times where I was a middle school pastor and I would buy random stuff like 50 watermelons.
Yeah.
And the person was like, why do you have 50 watermelons? I was like, I'm a youth pastor.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't answer the question, but it answers the question.
One thing that I will never allow my kids to do as long as they're under your leadership. So if you do this, I will tell my kids absolutely not because I've had bad experiences. Our food fights.
Oh, no.
Never. They smell terrible, absolutely terrible. And it's messy. It's expensive.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of fun things you can do with food that don't require you to throwing them at each other.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It is legitimately, it makes me want to vomit actually just thinking about it.
Have you ever done the McDonald's shake?
I don't want to know. Oh, dude, that makes, honestly, I have a terrible stomach. I don't want to.
Where you just buy like a Happy Meal, throw it.
Dude, I'm gonna throw up. Seriously, I'm gonna throw up.
My favorite though is egg challenges. So
you gotta carry.
Well, no, come on.
That's too.
We're middle. Like I'm thinking my prime days when I'm in middle school, or I'm a middle school leader. Like you got to find things that are fun, but like a little gross, but also throw a little prank in there. So you get 12 eggs, you hard boil 11 of them. And then
that's great.
You line them up, right? So youth leader gets 6, kid gets 6, and you smash them on the other person's head. You make sure that your last one has the like non-hard boiled.
Yeah.
One. and it's just a race to see who can get there first, and you smash the last one, they've got egg running down their face. Or then there's another one where you take a clear, like, flexible tube, and you crack an egg and you put it inside, right? So it's just the egg yolk, and one person is blowing on one end, one person blowing. The first person to stop blowing, like, gets an egg in their mouth. You get the middle schooler who goes and just starts blowing, and you just take your tube and go like that, and it sprays right in their face.
That's a great idea. That is a great idea.
Yeah.
Dude, if the egg challenge was ever used on Noah,
this
kid would start crying. My kids would like bawl. I think
Colin would love it.
Colin would love it. Noah's a little bit more sensitive.
We were watching them play last night at Steven's house, and I told Ryan, I said, just watching all these kids, like, I look at Noah, and like when they're like 10 years older, like he's gonna be the mastermind behind all their trouble.
Yeah. Oh.
And Colin and Porter will be like the front men. Like they'll do what he says. And then you've got Beckett and Honey who are gonna be the muscle.
I can see it happening. I can see it happening.
But like I was watching Noah, and I'm just like watching he was watching all the rest, and he got this little like mischievous smile.
Dude, he's planning it all, man. Like, gears are turning.
Oh, he's gonna do something.
He's gonna be a little joker. He's gonna be a little menace.
And you don't expect it.
Oh, that's a thing.
Like,
he's already doing things. I'm just like, bro, that's not normal.
Oh, we're at 45 minutes. Yeah. This is our longest podcast, and we're talking about nothing.
Yeah, I know. I love it, though.
I don't know what the title is going to be of this.
Stuff. That's it.
Stuff.
There you go.
All right. Well, I think that's probably a good place to cut it off.
I think so. Sounds good.
Okay.
Good catching up.
Catch you guys next time. Like, subscribe. Fun stuffs.